Thank you. I don't know why I was muted. That's interesting. Bonus error. Hi, hi, hi. Yeah. So I was saying we're going to cut right into it today. That's very exciting. Only dark, ghost, poison, or bug types are allowed in today's tournament. I'll be entirely spectating here. I'm not playing. But as you guys might remember from other Tuesday nights, I am a judge for this line of tournaments, which permits me to just hop around since it's on Showdown, and I'll be able to check in on people, basically, and see how they're doing. So I gotta find somebody who's actually off to the races. And I might have to manage judge requests on the side, but you won't see any of that, because that's, you know, private. Alright. So let's see if I can find... Oh wait, it's gonna be all formats. How you doing tonight, Sari? Yeah, so since it's on Showdown today, I can just, like, hop into people's rooms and get their Showdown usernames. I'm pretty sure this will work. And it was a clause in the rules of the tournament that, you know, you may be streamed. Since it's Showdown, there's actually, like, you know, spectator abilities here. Oh, hold on, I gotta make sure that loops also. Loop. Gotta have my music. Gotta have my music. Boy's gotta have his music. So yeah, as soon as this match comes up, I should just be able to hop in there. I think? One thing we can look at while we're waiting is the metagame for this tournament, which I hope this is big enough. So as I said, you're only allowed to have, dark, ghost, bug, or poison types. So surprising no one, Fluttermane is still top dog here. Amoonguss also heavy presence. After that, we've got the two ruinous Pokemon. Shockingly, Grimmsnarl actually shows up more than dark type Urshifu, it looks like. We've got our boy Sizer. Murkrow has a healthy appearance here as the only Tailwind setter you'd really have in the meta. Annihilate comes back into play. We see some Tyranitar. Houndstone. I want to see the Houndstone team, actually. Who's playing Houndstone? Hengi is playing Houndstone. Hold on. I want to watch this guy's match. Alright, hold on. That's not for you to see. I hope this works anyway. I just assumed I'd be able to watch people. There we go. Alright, we're good. Hold on, we're going back to the beginning. And, okay, so we're just off to the races here. Pengi, on one side's got the Okitoki Grimmsnarl we're going to set for screens. And we're doing weather setting with Sableye. That's very, very clever. As a prankster user, this is going a bit fast, but, such is the way on Showdown. Okay, so we've got screens set up on the Grimmsnarl side of things, which is really, really helpful. We've got Rain on the one side, so we're basically running a modified Rain team. Looks like they're going to be able to stall it out with Toxapex and Basculegion. Quash is an interesting pick for the Sableye, as it'll let you basically force anybody to go last. The way Quash works is it makes the target go at the end of the turn, and since Sableye has priority on that status move, you can basically force anybody to go last. But it seems like Pengi is going to run a counter-weather team, at least based on the draft. I don't know if they've brought it, but they've got Tyranitar, which presumably runs Sandstream, yeah, and then Sandrush, Houndstone. Meanwhile, here, Stonks is running a Rain team. Not very useful to Quash at this point, because the Sucker Punch is priority beyond priority. Very, very interesting. Okay, so if I were in this position, I've got the Rain up. I think I can probably stall it out with Toxapex, but you can't poison. Okay, I'm wrong. They bring out the Sizer. Okay. That's interesting, that's interesting. Sucker Punch is still a threat here. The Rain makes you way less afraid of fire, not that Pengi's packing any. Yeah, okay. We still have screens up. We have screens, I'm assuming, for another 4 full turns. And Rain will decline soon. Neither of these guys can really do anything into the Steel type. Goldengo still really can't, but Goldengo can set up in theory. Dual Wing Beat, very good into the Amoonguss. I assume it will eat its berry, though, right? Surely it has a berry. No? What's it got? Oh, Mental Herb. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't want to be taunted. And now Sizer's asleep. There's no more Rain. Screens are still up for 3 more turns. Chien-Pao could try and go for a Sucker Punch, but it risks getting, spored again. Otherwise, Goldengo could also just avoid Sucker Punch with a Nasty Plot. And we come back in with the Grimmsnarl, who I assume has Fake Out pressure as well. No, actually. They just have dual screens. Make It Rain should bring Chien-Pao to Sash. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I agree. There's a crazy amount of things that still work, right? Like, the thing that interests me most about this tournament is going to be how people take existing archetypes that work and find new guys that can execute them. So, like, we have Murkrow as the Tailwind user again, back in the limelight, right? Very exciting. But, yeah, like, I don't know, Sableye is very cool as a weather setter. We get Sucker Punched, yeah. Nasty Plot goes. We have a turn of sleep on Sizer, who I'm assuming is going to try and Bullet Punch every turn. I don't know what Sableye can do here, but it's down to just these two, whereas Pengi still has his full 4 because of screens. I'm assuming Grimmsnarl is just going to throw up Reflect, and I'm wrong. I've assumed wrong. Yeah, so Annihilate being back is interesting because it's Annihilate but no Mousehold, right? You can't run the Mousehold in this format, so what do you do? It's very interesting. Alright, well, we're getting damage in, but I don't know if it's going to matter, because we're running out of offensive pressure, and there's no way to heal here with the Sizer. Tried Framer Guard Village. Oh, yeah, that would make sense for this format. But you don't have a way to juice Rage Fist like you would with Mousehold, right? Not with Pavilion, anyway. Other guys can know beat up, but... Sorry, I'm realizing in my haste I forgot to like log into my various stream redeem tools. Bulk up set makes sense. I don't think you'd like run it completely different. Yeah, and I think that's just gonna be game here. They said they did it forgot. I don't see any way even a full health stabilize is gonna bring this one back, but he's welcome to try. I would assume that's that. And we go for a Make It Rain, that should just clear. Well played. Very nice. Cool, okay. One match in the books. Okay, so that was very interesting to see an attempt at like a rain team. Meanwhile, Pengi has like the power to counter pressure with sand, but there's just no need, right? I believe this format is best of one. Hold on, I got a judge request. There's some squabbling going on. Somebody did not accept open sheets, which is interesting. The game timer is on there. Interesting. Hold on. One moment. Let me consult with the other tournament staffers. Actually, I think I have the power to make this. Hold on, sorry for the scuff. This is the way being a member of the staff here, like, plays out. Admin in a tournament. Description. Go. Sorry, somebody is refusing to accept open sheets on Showdown because the sheets are provided by the tournament organizer as well, but they're saying they only have the one monitor or whatever. Thank you. It is resolved. for now. Any other matches still going on? We've got lots of matches have already finished. This is going to be quick, I think. 93 of 110 matches are already completed. We're going to have 7 rounds best of 1. So, we're going to move pretty quick, I think. Oh, Tom. We had another judge request. Somebody forgot which types you're allowed to have in this tournament. That's funny. Okay. Cool, okay. We are, I think, all set. Just waiting for next round, I guess. No, it's best of 3 top cut. Yeah, BO1 goes fast, especially on Showdown, right? So, it's mercifully, it's gonna be 7 rounds of best of 1, but then it's gonna be top cut, BO3, single elimination, ideally. So hopefully this won't go into, like, you know, midnight or whatever. Though it's a little more frantic given how you have to, like, hop into a match. I really wanted to see Houndstone get used. I love that Pokemon a whole lot. You might remember from my earliest laddering videos for the generation here, I was running a Houndstone Tyranitar team because I just think they're both really charming guys. Cleaver, Bramble. I'm actually surprised that there's less Bramblegast in this tournament. I would think you'd have more, because Bramblegast actually is pretty solid, but maybe they're only pretty solid into things that aren't in this tournament. Because, like, I guess their claim to fame is that they're immune to Heat Wave and, like, Blizzard and Icy Wind, and you don't really see a ton of that. Yeah, I don't know what you do after that exactly. I was running Houndstone as, like, a late game damage dealer or an early game support. You could have, like, Howl on your Houndstone, and it can learn Will-O-Wisp, which is pretty cool. As a fast tempo controller in that regard. Howl with Tyranitar is quite nice as an attack booster. But yeah, they run out of steam pretty fast, and they're very frail. Hold on, we got Shiftry. I need to see what the teams with Shiftry are. Illumise, assuming this is Tailwind. Okay, we got Leaf Blade, Knockoff, Protect. I want to see Wind Rider, Explosion, Shiftry. Did I see Zoroark on here at all? I'll check. Yeah, nobody's running Explosion on Shiftry, unfortunately. Okay, well, there's somebody who ran Rapid Strike Ursh, so they're going to need to get disqualified. Komodo is also not allowed. Cresselia is not allowed. Hold on. You know, that's a great point. I just want to see... Dragonite's not allowed. Is this just all on one team? Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Yeah, they've been removed. I don't know why they brought a team that was not allowed, but... Oh, Charjabug. I want to see the Charjabug team win. This guy is super funny. This is a little guy, not fully of a Pokemon, so they're an Eviolite Haver. They boost up the special attack. Oh, we doing another one? Hold on. Okay, I thought we were starting the next round. Lots of team sheet problems, it seems like, today, which doesn't surprise me a ton, but such is the nature of the beast. We're almost done with the first round. Only 4 matches remaining. I'm assuming they'll wrap up pretty quick, too. The other problem with Showdown is it's really hard to just jump in halfway through. Yeah, but I'm excited about this Charjabug. Let's see what he's got. So this Charjabug is Battery, of course. So like I was saying, the ability battery. I'm sorry. I'm also really sorry that I'm like super scatterbrained. I'm like trying to juggle making sure this tournament is running while also like talking about it and such. Yeah, at least team sheet errors are like pretty cut and dry. I agree. But it's annoying when people get huffy about it. Though nobody has so far. It's the thing that can happen. Yeah, so Charjabug's ability battery here is it just powers up allied special attack by I think 30%. So in that regard, it's marginally better than Beads of Ruin on Chi-Yu. But in this tournament, nothing's saying you can't have Chi-Yu next to Charjabug. Where you get the Beads of Ruin, reduce their special defense by 25%, and then boost your own special attack by 30%. And you've got a Life Orb for another 30% on top of that. So if you're behind some kind of speed control, though, this team doesn't seem to have any. I guess Icy Wind. And String Shot, crucially. So String Shot's pretty cool as tech. String Shot actually hits both opponents and lowers the speed by a stage. And ever since Generation 8, as we know with Tailwind and like Icy Wind and such, speed is dynamic. So if you get your speed lowered, it immediately applies that turn. Though Charjabug is going to go last very often. It's not fast. Lunge, meanwhile, I believe reduces attack. Thunder Wave also further reduces speed, and Struggle Bug reduces special attack. So basically, this is just a little debuff machine, all the while providing his partner with a powerful special attack boost. So I think that's kind of cool. Yes, String Shot hits both opponents. And I don't blame you for calling it that, because it's not typically seen as very good, but Charjabug does not have a lot of options. You would simply run it for its ability. It actually has decent bulk also, if memory serves. I think it's got like 90s in the defenses or something like that. So with Eviolite, it's actually quite difficult to remove. It just doesn't really do a lot. But it's got pretty good status moves. Lunge is a nice addition to it. I don't know why you'd Terra here, other than I guess to avoid a taunt. Kind of beyond me. But yeah, I want Charjabug to be good. It's probably my favorite Pokemon from Alola. Alright, we are about done with the last match here. So I want Charjabug to be good. That would be nice. Dragalge is pretty cool. Poltegeist, interesting to see instead of Sinistcha. Mabostiff, that's kind of interesting. I'll be interested to see who's the big winners from this when we finish the round and do the next pairings. I'm still sick. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that, bud. We're waiting for round 2. Rounds are going to be really, really snappy today because they're on Showdown. So, round 1 was interesting. We saw a guy running a rain team powered by Sableye as the weather setter here because, you know, you can't use Pelipper. And Sableye has that good prankster, meaning it can get status moves off nice and quick. Yeah. But he was not able to clinch it out, unfortunately. He fought into a Grimmsnarl setting up powerful screens to reduce damage and just didn't have a way to break through it in time. All matches are completed. Very nice. Very quick. Next round starts in 2 minutes. So yeah, right now we're just looking at the metagame, which is to say who's all brought to this tournament. I'm not surprised by Flutterman being the top pick. Amoonguss number 2 also makes sense. I kind of would have thought Urshifu would be higher than Grimmsnarl, but it's pretty contentious and close. Goldengo makes sense. Yeah, not terribly surprised. Murkrow's kind of back in their former glory of being the only Tailwind user in this dark meta. It's like him and Roaring Moon are pretty much the 2 ways you do that. Sizer is just very good, with the only major fire types being Chi-Yu and Volcarona. Sizer's pretty threatening. Oh, that is Illumise Erasure, you're right. And Illumise is right here. You're so right, actually. I keep forgetting that Bug is one of the types you're allowed. But yeah, you're right. Illumise is also a Prankster Tailwind user. Pairings are up, awesome. Let's see who's there. I wish I could watch. I mean, in theory, I could go back and watch replays. But I believe this guy's name is Scraw. So this is one of the top pairings for this coming round. Both players won their match. I trust Scraw to have a good team. I believe Scraw is actually currently streaming, so that's fun also. There are some big names in this tournament today. Scraw's a notable player. They're also an IRL lawyer, which is pretty cool. They recently just passed the bar. So big ups to them on that. I saw Judy Azzarelli playing, who we've talked about kind of at length as the unfortunate recipient of the Pachirisu beatdown in 2014. They've come back to competitive Pokemon with Generation 9, and they're making waves. Scraw, come on, buddy. It's also possible some people might just have spectating turned off, which is a thing you can do. I mean, yeah, he's great. I think he's a wonderful person. Every interaction I've had with him, albeit that's only on Twitter and when I pop into his stream sometimes, super nice dude. Like, he understands, like, you know, getting second at World, super good accomplishment. Like, no shame in that at all. And, you know, he got to be part of a legend, so somebody has to be on the receiving end, right? But he took a break, came back, just as sharp as ever, pretty much. Is anybody playing? Anybody playing? I want to watch a match, and I don't want it to be like... No matches. What are we waiting for, gang? So I didn't see Wo Chien in here at all. Okay, there are 3 people who brought Wo Chien to the Dark tournament. So that should tell you everything you need to know about this Pokemon. It's literally a legendary, and it's below Arbok in usage right now. More people thought Arbok would be the pick than thought Wo Chien was the guy. So that's cool. Who's running Honchkrow? Crazy stuff. I don't know why you'd do that to yourself. Are people playing? What's happening? I don't want to, like, miss out on a whole round. Oh, okay. I think I'm just missing rounds here. People might have spectator turned off. That's a shame. Hold on. Which is like their God-given right, but... I feel like I'm going crazy here. Are we just gonna have to watch Pengies, like, play through the entire tournament? I wanted to watch other teams. Well. First turn. How did this one go down? We're gonna just watch from the beginning, I guess. Alright, so we're actually leading with Sand on Pengi's team here, which is the other mode that this guy has, which is pretty cool. Immediately switch out the Tyranitar, because it does not fare well into Chien-Pao. You're able to get the burn-offs. This is what I was talking about earlier, with Houndstone being a powerful supporter. We've now halved the offensive power of Dragapult. Icicle Crash does very little into Goldengo. You're not going to levy a fighting type attack into Tyranitar. And yeah, there we go with the Howl. Icicle Crash does significant damage, but not too bad. We get Chip Off with Sandstorm. We can Terra Fairy now to fully resist that fighting type attack that might come in. We continue to Howl. Phantom Force comes out, probably going for the Houndstone this time, and it will kill. but the chip means that there's no focus sash on Shenpao, and the Rock Slide knocks out from full. Flutter Mane comes in, but Houndstone should still be faster and can go for meaty last respects. The Phantom Force doesn't quite do enough, and Neutral Moonblast, I guess, is enough to clinch it out, since we lose the special defense boost from the sand. Goldango comes in, though. No speed control. Flutter Mane's actually out. Mimikyu afraid. Or not afraid, rather, of Goldango. Into the Make It Rain. Tanks that for very minimal damage. Sandstorm will continue to chip, and we lose our special attack. Sand runs out, and there's no way to reset, so we're kind of out of speed control here, which does give Flutter Mane carte blanche to kind of just sweep. Last Respects could come in if we survive, but we don't. And that just leaves us with one guy in the back, which is going to be Okitogi. And I think that's just game. All right. So Last Respect is base 50 power. Houndstone already has a lot of damage. So even though they didn't lose anybody, you know, Flutter Mane just has no physical defense. It's super, super front-loaded. All speed, all special defense. And so it just being a neutral hit with stab is like plenty. Flutter Mane really can't stand up to physical damage basically at all. I'm upset that I had to watch that basically as a replay, though. But I think that's just the nature of how tonight's going to be. Alright. Here we've got an Ursh team, which is pretty cool, and one of the couple of Annihilate users. Excited to see Galarian Slowpoke here. So they've got Regenerator, and they're actually going to maybe try and run a Trick Room team. Meanwhile, we've got aptly named Lando, doing their best Landorus impression, as they have Intimidate on the field. They don't run Explosion, which is good, but they're going to have Icy Wind for further speed control. So let's see how this pans out. We get the Intimidate out on two very powerful physical attackers. Terra Fairy again to resist the Dark and become neutral. Wicked Blow, even with the crit, doesn't kill, and we're able to get Trick Room off mercifully. We go for the super effective Crunch into the Terra Ghost, and now that Terra is just gone. Wicked Blow barely hurts on the Dark Poison type of Overquill. And we bring back in the newly regenerated Slowpoke. Wicked Blow just not able to cut the mustard here. We're going to be able to live through the storm here, I'm pretty sure. You can even face back out Amoonguss after you get this other sleep off and get its regenerator to kick in. She fortunately gets a one-turn wake up. No regenerator for you, but now we've got a fire type in. Icy Wind in the Trick Room is interesting, but I guess Trick Room's about to expire, so it's a good final turn. And then you can get the Struggle Bug off for further stat debuffs. Though that only really matters to Chi-Yu. Alright, well, with just the full HP in for our Slowking, are we able to do anything here? Ursh wakes up, goes for the Wicked Blow. Now it's just the Slowking into three guys. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Though I could be wrong. A critical hit with that level of Intimidate does so little, but I think the special attack's going to, you know, pull it in. And there we go. Well... No, wait, he still has another whole guy. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Those critical hits were hitting like paper, though. Like, not threatening at all, it felt like. Yeah, so its VGC moves really quick, but also the simulator, in particular, moves really fast. And also, I was watching that as a replay, because I came in after the match was over. But yeah, the simulator moves much, much quicker than the actual cartridge games. So, it is what it is. Most matches are done. Let's see who's still going. Not many matches still going. Alright, here's one. Coming in from the first turn. So real quick, on the drop, this guy's got kind of a heavy bug focus on his team. They're running Bramblegast, which is pretty cool. And Terra Fairy is interesting because I was expecting so much poison to get thrown on. I think Dark is more threatening, though. Between the legendaries and Urshifu, like the Ruinous 4 and Ursh, right? I think Dark is probably more prevalent. So this guy's, speaking of high poison damage, we've got Mimikyu, who's likely going to try and set up some kind of, well, with an Iron Moth, I don't know that you'd set up Trick Room, into another team that has Galarian and Moltres, actually. So let's see how this plays out. What's the enemy lead? Moltres into Grimmsnarl. So here we're going to set screens and hope for the best. We want to absorb as much damage as we can. Going for the Reflect is interesting, though, when you're staring down the Iron Moth, though I guess you're afraid more of the Mimikyu. Next turn, we'll set up the other screen. Take very, very little damage. So Moltres' variant here, their gimmick is when they go beneath half HP, their special attack gets 1 stage of boost. And then they can eat a berry, get another stage of boost, and from here you can sweep with their signature move, Fiery Wrath, which is a Dark-type move that hits both opponents. So I expect that's going to be the plan now that we've got screen set up. Hospitality for some further heals. The play ref hurts, and we get another boost that way because our berry brought us back above half HP. But the Mimikyu still does have its disguise. So you are in trouble. Even if you hit really hard, it doesn't matter. Heat Wave goes out. Sinistcha gonna fortunately dodge that one. That would be super effective. And Mimikyu is just continuing to go in for that. Life Dew actually going through the Protect. That's pretty smart. That's a big miss, and the Life Dew really helps. Is the Mimikyu holding goggles? It is! So the Mimikyu doesn't get redirected because it was holding the safety goggles, so Rage Powder and other powder moves don't affect it. It was still able to hit Moltres, who will now probably die here to any priority move, if I had to guess. I'm surprised Scissor actually didn't go for like a Bullet Punch, because that would surely do it. We Terrasilize into Poison in a last-ditch effort. It surprisingly doesn't go for it. And the Poison Terra doesn't save it from the stab-boosted play rough, unfortunately. From here on out, I don't know. It's going to be rough for Flutterman, I think. Air Cutter hitting both is nice. Matcha Gotcha, pretty good. If it gets a burn on Sizer, that's pretty much game. And who's going to be the final guy on this side? Their own Moltres. Okay, so do we get to see the run back? Yeah, the Protect, I think, is largely so that they can just see what their opponent's trying to do, and then also offers them a turn where they can, say, like, switch into their healer. Protecting on the turn where you switched in Sinistcha was good because Sinistcha's ability heals its ally upon switch in. And then the move Life Dew is a status move that heals your partner and yourself and also goes through Protect. So the Protects made sense, especially since they weren't faster. Yes, I agree. As they say, you gotta keep them honest, right? You have to go for the attacks and to Protect. Otherwise, like, what can you do? But yeah, I don't know. There's actually like money on the line for this tournament, like a considerable amount of money. So I don't blame people for playing very conservatively. I would do the same thing. I think we got like a couple more matches in this round. Alright, that one maybe is over. Okay, they just finished. This round's finishing up too. I don't think there are like any matches left. So now we just gotta wait for the next round of pairings. Yeah, I mean, like, with Protect, you know it's going to be every other turn, right? So, that's not terribly surprising. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, right? There's not really too many ways to punish a Protect in Pokemon. Really, the best you can do with it is, unless you're running Urshifu, whose entire gimmick is, I punch through Protect, you can get, like, a setup or a free switch on the turn that your opponent's doing something. But if you don't have a setup move, or you don't have a more preferable board state, like you already have your ideal guy in, you just kind of gotta let them use their turn to Protect. Not a ton that can be done as counterplay. You can't punish unless you've got something you really want to do. All right, so let's see the updated meta now that we've cleared around. So unsurprisingly, Fluttermane's doing quite well. Who's the most winningest So, Mischievous is actually the winningest Pokemon. They've won 2 so far. Mischievous, the little sister of Fluttermane. Happy to see it. And Slitherwing coming in big here. Weavile, Rabsca, these niche picks doing quite well. Yeah, Baby Flutter is very cool, because it's just Flutter that you can run Eviolite on, which I'm assuming is what we're seeing here. Yeah, so she's got Levitate and Terra Electric. You might remember me talking about this during my Little Cup review, but she can fight with like the best of them for sure. As a Pokemon that was originally invented to be a fully evolved one-stage Pokemon, her stats are totally respectable. With Eviolite, they are like good enough. Levitate, very, very good. You can pair her next to like Ting-Lu, for example, and he can fire off Earthquakes while she's just immune to it. With Levitate, Terra Electric, she has no weaknesses, and she can just fire off Burns, do some notable damage with Hex, which does double damage onto status targets. So the burn will then make Hex do double damage on subsequent turns. He's able to set up Trick Room for Ting-Lu, Toxapex et al., and has Pain Split as a means of recovery, so she can continue to leech off of her opponents. What that River Room doing? That's a great question. So I'm guessing you'd pair them next to Rage Powder Amoonguss while they fire off Shift Gears. Overcoat makes them immune to Spore, which is kind of cool. Flying removes their double weakness to ground. And then they just have a very powerful Steel move, a very powerful Poison move. This being very good into the Fluttermane meta, I would assume. And Shift Gear just boosts their stats pretty considerably. Inspiration to talk at pace in my own commentary, so I'm glad I'm tuning in. Am I going too fast? I feel like I have to go at this speed just by the nature of how fast turns are executed on the simulator, but also I have a lot more information at my disposal now than I do at pretty much any other situation where I might be providing commentary. I know I'm like literally just doing play-by-play and not providing a ton of theory crafting as to what my opponent might do. On the cartridge, there's like a lot of built-in like input delay. Like you put in your button, and then there's like 2.5 seconds before the game actually says like, okay, both opponents have locked in, it's time to do the next turn. On the Showdown, it's instant, right? So matches move a lot faster. There's no big showy attack animations or anything. Like the animations are all very simple. So turns just move a lot faster. But also it's much easier for my brain to parse because this is where I was raised. And I also just have a lot of information at my disposal. You can hover over guys to see their whole moveset and everything. But also, in a gimmick tournament like this, it's very easy to see like a guy and be like, oh, I understand why you brought it. Like, oh, Mischievous, Eviolite, I understand. There's no other reason you'd do that. So that's fun. We're going to have new pairings in 2 minutes, and I'll try and find some more matches that are in progress. The thing about Showdown is you can set your matches to be unspectatable, which is totally fair. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. In the rules for this tournament, it was explicitly stated that you may be watched because you're on Showdown, and it's a gimmick tournament, so like it'd be fun. I know I'm not the only one casting today, but yeah, that's where we're at. Okay. What's Rabsca got also? I'm excited to see Rabsca doing well. Oh, 2 identical teams. Okay. Yeah, I love... It's got the accordion in it. I love this version of the Pokemon battle theme. I only discovered this actually recently when we were doing the Battle Tower in Generation 7 on stream. This is the first time I had ever heard it. Yeah, right? I mean, what can you do? But hey, you've got your Pavilion that you were talking about. Friend Guard, Terra-type Rock, next to Ting-Lu, and Annihilate. Pretty cool. The Ting-Lu Vivillon combo is, like, quite funny. So the strategy here is Ting-Lu has an ability that reduces the special attack of everybody on the field by 25%. And he has tremendous bulk to begin with, so he doesn't die. He just sits around for a long time. Poison's also a really good defensive typing to Terra into if you want to. Very few things hit it for super effective, and the things that do are all special, so you're inherently already, like, resisting it partially. Meanwhile, Pavilion has this ability, Friend Guard, which says that your ally takes, I believe, 1/3 less damage. Just as long as you're on the field, they will take 1/3 less. So if your opponent's doing special damage, they're doing 25% less, and then 1/3 less, which is pretty cool. Additionally, Pavilion is normally a flying bug type, which makes it immune to Earthquake. So you can just fire off Earthquakes as Ting-Lu, Vivillane totally protecting you for a couple turns. Pollen Puff is a heal. Rage Powder is a redirect. Your Tinglu is basically unstoppable. If they do land a super effective hit, you can basically shrug it off and be healed by Pollen Puff. Your Weakness Policy will activate, and you can do a ton of damage that way. Similarly, Friend Guard is notably very good with Annihilate. Annihilate wants to get hit a whole bunch to charge up Rage Fist. It gains 50 power for every time you get hit, which is insane. And so if you take less damage on every hit, thanks to Friend Guard, or thanks to, like, Vessel of Ruin, you're in the clear. And you're very, very good that way. You can heal up those hits with the ability Hospitality coming in off of Sinistra. This means when you switch in, your ally gains 25% of their life back. And they also pack Life Dew, which we saw in a previous match. Goes through Protect and heals you and your partner for 25%. So in a single switch in, you can potentially heal your guy 50%. Pretty good. And then, yeah, if all else fails, Annihilate goes down, you can use Revival Blessing on Rabska to bring them back at 50% HP. Rage Fist stacks totally intact. Even if you get knocked out, you don't lose the charges on Rage Fist, which is very funny. So you can come back from the dead at 50% HP. Super good. And then, yeah, the other moves are just debuffers. Pounce, I believe, reduces the target's speed, and Struggle Bug reduces special attack. So another way to debuff special attackers. And then we got Dragapult, very fast, hits very hard. Not much more to say about that. Do we have pairings up? We do, okay. Let's see if I can tune in. There we go. All right, so we've got kind of similar teams. We've got honestly what looks like a normal regulation team, frankly. We've got the Okidogi is kind of interesting. Otherwise, we've just got powerful attackers on both sides. Flutterfan, unsurprisingly running Flutter Main. We got the Chiyu Roaring Moon. Tailwind, I'm assuming, is going to come out from Roaring Moon unless there's fake out pressure from Grimmsnarl. There is. So perhaps that's going to put a damper on things. You could fake out into Spore potentially on Roaring Moon to stop that fake out from coming out. Chiyu actually opts for they go for the double protect, so fake out will not find purchase here. But they'd set up a screen anyway. They weren't even going for it. So that's a very optimal use of the protect turn. You still get the screen up. Good evening. That's a frustrating pavilion. Yeah. I'm not going to see it here. We go for the Terra Flying on Roaring Moon. The Overheat doing massive damage immediately, but I'm assuming Chiyu's going to try and switch out now. Weird that they didn't double into the Grimmsnarl, because they could have taken it out immediately. Fortunately, they Terra'd off the poor typing, but now Chiyu's asleep. If they had doubled into one or the other, I think they could have gotten it, even through the resisting Terra of the Amoonguss here. But they kind of split their focus, and they get punished for it. They're on the attack, but they split their focus, and I feel like they paid for it a lot. Chiyu has to come out now, which opens Shenpao up to any kind of attack, or they get another screen off. Though, honestly, the Photosynthesis attack boost on Roaring Moon with Acrobatic Stab might just be enough to break a lot of backs here. We've now got Reflect Up and Tinglu on the field. Fortunately, neither person on Fluttermane's team here is a special attacker, so that ability doesn't do a whole lot. He can hit, but we're down to our final two. What can Okidogi bring to the table? It's got Bulk Up, but I don't know if that's going to be doing too much. Maybe you go for a single Bulk Up behind the screens, and then you can Drain Punch. Sacred Sword into the Tinglu. It is super effective. And Acrobatics, I feel like if Acrobatics had just doubled into Tinglu, they could have gotten him. I don't know. Now we've got... Okay, so it's down to 3v2. Fluttermane and Shenpao, I think, just have so much offensive pressure, though. Tinglu mercifully reducing the damage that Fluttermane can do as long as he's able to be on the field. But that might not be too much longer. We don't have Terra yet left on either team. They've both used it. So it's going to be rough from here on out. Once again, Okidogi, last man standing, goes for the Drain Punch, but there is a Sash in play. He should full heal, but to what end? A Sucker Punch and Moonblast will probably just seal the fate of this dog. That brings you down to like half. Icicle Crash misses. Goes for the Gunk Shot. Well. And Chiyu is still asleep. You could go for the Drain Punch into the Chiyu now, if you think you can hack it and think you're faster. You get a full life heal. If this doesn't flinch, and if Chiyu doesn't wake up, I think you're set. You get the Drain Punch in. Okidogi is going to take this, I believe. Even a Sucker Punch or a Icicle Crash is not enough here. Very good turnaround. That was a pivotal miss on the Icicle Crash, I believe. And we still have 1 turn of Reflect left. So Shenpao just not doing a lot, and it misses even... Ooh, that's rough. That's a rough one. Okie dokie. Behind screens, actually able to do quite a lot more than I thought. So this guy's new in the DLC, right? He's Poison Fighting type. So he was able to get neutral damage in from the Moonblast. It wasn't super effective, mercifully. And yeah, Going Shot, super strong, super effective. Physical Poison move, which just blows up Floater Man instantly. Drain Punch gets same type attack bonus and Big Lifesteal, and is super effective into the dark meta that we're seeing here. So this guy's quite a pick. And yeah, Icicle Crash is a 90%. 90% move. What can you do? It's the game we play. Any other matches left? Let's see. First turn. What do we got here? Malmoween. And okay, so from here, Toxicroak is an immediate threat to both of these guys, I would say. Has Poison Jab, which is weaker than Gunk Shot, but it doesn't miss. Flutterman's probably quite afraid of that. This guy's going to get off a free Tailwind and has the option of Sunny Day, activating Photosynthesis on Flutterman here, which is the ability that you can either activate with a booster energy to gain a small boost to your, or a sizable boost to your most proficient stat, or if you're in the sun, it also activates. So what I expect is going to happen here is we're going to go for the priority Sunny Day to get a speed boost on Fluttermane, though it could be a special attack boost, while still benefiting from choice specs. And then you can just blow up whoever you want. Let's see how that pans out. Roaring Moon, meanwhile, I assume is going to try and go for a Tailwind of its own, but I don't know that it'll live that long. So it gets Photosynthesis from its booster energy. Terra's Poison to resist whatever's getting thrown at it. We actually see a Taunt, so no Tailwind from it today, but it was going for an attack regardless. Dazzling Gleam will find little purchase here, and the Poison Jab seals the deal, so that's rough. Chi-Yu now out, hits neutral on both of these guys. Tailwind finally comes out, but it might be too little too late. Okay, so I don't know where you go from here. You can activate the Sun to make your next Heat Wave do a ton of damage. This is a strategy that I've run before, but they switch into a Water type to hopefully eat some of that. And we resist. Oh, and we get the burn. Wow. Okay, so Roaring Moon's out of here, but not before leaving a small parting shot. That burn's actually huge. Basculegion doesn't get hit at all, so we don't see how much damage he still takes despite resisting being a Water type. But I feel like in the Sun, you're going to take quite a bit of damage here. And now they've got Tailwind at their back and the Sun overhead. I think the next couple of turns are going to be free and easy for the Swedish Fish. Basculegion shouldn't like the Sun, but he does have a dead ally, and he is packing Last Respects. He could also potentially Terra Fairy and Terra Blast into the Chi-Yu here, but I don't think he's gonna. Switching in your Steel type is brave. I'm not actually sure why. Right, we get rid of... Oh, he can't Terra. I didn't realize that Murkrow Terra'd. My mistake. And so they have their own Roaring Moon, who uses his booster energy. All set. Unfortunately, Thunderfang doesn't appear to be a Swedish guy. But yeah, I don't know where you go from here. The Sun is still up. Only one more turn of Tailwind. No other way to reset it. But even if you stall it out, I don't really know if that affords you. I think you have to pop Terra on one of your guys. Maybe you pop Terra Water on Goldengo. But I don't know. I think in the Sun, the Beads of Ruin, Chi-Yu with Life Orb will still clear. Alright, Knockoff goes that way. Toxicroak surely dies, yeah? No more Tailwind. But to what end? So they got a Water type and they could Terra Water. I don't think they've used Terra yet, right? Oh no, they used Terra Poison. First turn, what am I saying? I forgot. He didn't have Dry Skin. He actually had Poison Touch. But yeah, if he had Dry Skin, he would have been melting. You'd actually take chip damage every turn that Sun is up if you had Dry Skin. On the flip side, you'd heal the Water type attacks, but... yeah, I think this one's done and dusted here for... Yep, and there we go. Swamp clears easily. Well done, Swamp. more matches. Let's see. Oh. I have a judge request, but it's already been resolved, so we're good there. The other thing is, as more rounds pile on, people just tend to drop. If they like don't win the first one, they just tap out, you know? Or Basculegion. I've had some success with it in last Repex. It's funny. It's a great range sweeper. So Basculegion's entire thing is it's an evolved form of Basculin. It gets Last Respects, which we established was the signature move of Houndstone, but through egg transfer shenanigans, you can teach it to Basculegion. It's a move that gains 50 power for every defeated ally you have. So in the context of VGC, if Basculegion's the last man standing, it is a 200 base power move. You get base 50 plus 3 stacks of 50, and it gets same type attack bonus. In the ranged weather, he gets double speed, and by being a water type, his attacks already benefit from that a lot. Like, rain gives you a 50% damage boost on water attacks, so you just hit really hard, which is nice, and you're very fast. But yeah, it surprisingly hasn't gotten any tournament placements yet. I don't know that it's terribly consistent, but it is funny. It's kind of one of those things where, unless you have a check for it, like dedicated, you just lose. But a lot of people have a check for it. It's not that hard to blow up a water type. Anybody still playing? Alright, I think this round is almost done. Here we go, last round. Or the last one of this round. So this one we've got Shen Power Roaring Moon versus Roaring Moon and Ursh. Big Papa Ursh. Okay. So from the get-go, a lot of things going on right here, right? Yeah, Urshifu is just the better water type attacker. I see a Clodsire and a Weezing on this team, which is pretty cool. So Weezing's entire gimmick is that it can neutralize abilities, except for Photosynthesis. That's one of the abilities that cannot be neutralized. But it can like turn off Urshifu's ability to punch through Protect. It can turn off the Beads of Ruin. Actually, wait, there's Weezing on both of these teams. Just one's Galarian and one's not. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like you can turn off Urshifu's busted ability by having Weezing on the field. You can turn off the Ruin abilities, which is pretty cool. So let's see how this one plays out. We go for the Terra Poison immediately into a Terra Flying. Tailwind at our back. Icicle Crash just one-shots the Roaring Moon. Would have done that either way. The U-turn super effective and a crit, though that's not one of the moves that always crits. Takes us down to Sash, and here comes our Clodsire and our own Urshifu. Sucker Punch closes the deal. So Urshifu leaves and comes back immediately. High horsepower doing a tremendous amount of damage to the newly poisoned Roaring Moon. We got Fluttermane and Ursh in the side here. Deagleam knocks out Ursh, leaving us with only Clodsire, who tragically misses their own Gunk Shot and our own Fluttermane. We can blow crits. Can Clodsire do it? I feel like no, but we're going to find out. Gunk Shot, unfortunately not as strong as Okidogi's. We can blow, sealing the deal, and a very quick 5-turn knockdown here. Unfortunately, he does not clear, yeah? Alright, next round starts in a minute. Perfect. Close out some of these. These have been some fun matches. Are y'all having fun? We feeling pumped? We loving it? As I talk at a mile a minute, just describing what I'm seeing on screen. I can't imagine this is terribly compelling content, but you never know. I do like the team comps I'm seeing. That part's fun. There are some inspired... Let's take a look back at the meta now that we're a couple rounds in, right? So Fluttermane continuing to be top usage. Sorry, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at win percentage. Dragalge hasn't lost. Who's running Dragalge? I want to watch their match. Squish VGC. I want to see this guy play. I'm going to look for this guy's match. If I'm able to. I'm going to see if I can spectate this guy's match. I want to see the Dragalge team. Hisuian and Zoroark also doing quite well, so Sarah, you're going to like that. Now, okay, so here's what I don't know. So we just established that neutralizing gas can stop all abilities on the field from going off. I don't know if that applies to Illusion. If you send out your Zoroark and your Weezing at the same time, is it just Zoroark, or does Illusion still automatically take effect? Because, like, Illusion doesn't even proc. It doesn't say, like, Illusion proc, otherwise it wouldn't be a very good Illusion, right? Like, Illusion already is taking effect by the time you send it out. So I'm very curious what the interaction there is. I don't know why you'd want that, but that does feel like an interesting level of control that you might have. Okay, we got matches. Alright. I want to see this. I want to see this Dragalge in action. I need to see it so bad. Oh, can I see the moveset for Zoroark? Yeah. Absolutely. So for one of them, we're running the good old Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice, Psychic, with a Choice Scarf, interestingly enough. I feel like you're fast enough, but maybe not. I have to imagine Focus Sash is typically better, but we're just going Hyper Offense on this one. Surrounded by a team that's all Hyper Offense. There's... Yeah, it's set on killing things. You gotta respect it. Terra type normal, which is kind of interesting. And then the other one is this guy. Bitter Malice, Hyper Voice, Will-O-Wisp, Protect with the more traditional Focus Sash. That makes sense. Will-O-Wisp support's pretty good. They've got Hex on their Fluttermane, so that pairs nicely. Really, Preferred Scarf, interesting. I guess it's not that fast. Man, I'm not finding matches. I'm trying to, like, find anything interesting looking here. I'm just not picking up on anybody. I really want to see this Dragalge team. Turn 1 Trick a Scarf. Oh, yeah, it's true. You can have Trick, yeah. Goldengo does that a lot, I've seen. I've seen Goldengo do Trick Scarf or Trick Choice Item, because it's a pretty safe bet. And if you trick the Choice Item onto a setup guy, you pretty much just win instantly, which is nice. Where are my matches? Like hopping around seeing if anybody's playing yet. Either everybody at this point has ability to spectate turned off, or nobody's playing yet. Like, that can't be. Yeah, I'm not finding matches to watch, which is not good for me. I think we've already seen this guy play, but... Alright, so we've got an Illumise team on our hands. This is a Tailwind we're going to see get set up. Tailwind into probably Sucker Punch here. Fake out not into the Tailwind setter, but that's fine. I'm assuming they're going to get Spored. Yeah, that's fine. They got their Tailwind up. They're all set. We immediately Terra Water into a Protect, weirdly enough. They set up a Reflect to mitigate the damage coming out from Shenpao. We try for a Spore, but doesn't find any purchase. Now Tinglu comes up, who basically sets up a screen of their own. We go in for the Sacred Sword, but it just doesn't do a lot of damage. Bug Buzz comes out, does like nothing. We get another Spore. Set up a Rain Dance into Heavy Slam, but we're asleep, so we just do nothing. Both guys are asleep now. There just doesn't seem to be an answer for Amoonguss happening. We wake up, only to Protect. I don't see, like, another Sacred Sword doesn't do it here. Amoonguss can just try and put us back to sleep every turn. And I don't see a way we outrun this anymore. So the pressure kind of just seems too great. We just keep sporing behind the screen. And there's no, because we had led with such a passive Pokemon in Illumise, I feel like there's just no way to gain momentum. It just doesn't do anything. It sets up the Tailwind, but then what? And this is kind of the problem that Murkrow had a lot also, where it just isn't able to exert any kind of offensive pressure, so you are really, really bound to your one guy next to it. And here, Shenpao just can't do that enough on its own. Like, this team has been asleep for the entire game, it seems like. Exactly, it doesn't have the damage to keep up by itself. And so we just blow things up now. Every turn that Shenpao hasn't been asleep, it is basically protected. I think I've seen it do one attack in a not super useful Sacred Sword. We Terra Blast into a Protect, and it's looking real bad. Amoonguss comes back in to just continue to Spore. Goldango Substitute's real interesting. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. But we got Sub and Screens and Amoonguss support on Goldango. Yeah, there's just not enough damage in the tank. Yep, and then... Who's the last guy? Or that was all of them, right? Oh no. Lone Basculegion. Can they do it with, Last Respects? I don't think so. They're asleep. And yeah, they just aren't able to do anything. Unfortunately, did not really get to see Blackout here do a move, but such is life. Ooh, we got a Wheezing on our hands. Okay, so we've led Roaring Moon to Roaring Moon. We've got a Wheezing. So, as I established earlier, neutralizing gas does not suppress the photosynthesis abilities for whatever reason, but it does suppress the flame body on Volcarona. And it looks like we managed to already get a burn with Will-O-Wisp, which is pretty cool. So Roaring Moon's going to try and set up on its own while the other one uses Tailwind. We Will-O-Wisp into a guy who's already burned, I guess expecting a switch, but they don't seem like they have any plans on leaving anytime soon. I'm not sure what the Wheezing here offers beyond that. I'm not really sure what ability they're hoping to suppress. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, it moves a little too fast even for me. We have a Protect, which is, you know, whatever. We knock off the Citrus Berry before they can eat it. That's quite good. Super effective Struggle Bug. Don't really care about the special attack drop, and that burn's going to continue to whittle away at Volcarona. So now we can go for pretty much whatever we want on Ursh, that we are going to be slower for sure than the Roaring Moon. Oh no, sorry, Tailwind. Tailwind's in effect. Good to know. So now, do they send in a Wheezing of their own? Do they have perhaps Fluttermane in the back? Fluttermane here would pretty much clear if it can do a turn of Protect. Chien-Pao, okay, we're going all in on physical damage. But they gotta stall out this Tailwind. There's no way they're gonna be able to outrun it with the Tailwind in play. And actually, even with Tailwind out of the picture, the Photosynthesis speed boost is a 50% boost to speed on Roaring Moon, which is the same as what they've gotten out of Dragon Dance. Though I don't see, is there Photosynthesis speed? I can't tell. If it's also Proto speed, then they'll outspeed as soon as the Tailwind's over. So the double Protect makes sense. I think they gotta go for knocking out the Chi with Acrobatics into like an Icicle Crash into the Roaring Moon on the left side here. I don't see any other way out of this. You need to Ice Attack the Dragon and go for your strongest move on Chi here. Yeah, they get the Protect. That's very greedy, wow. Knowing that they're going to set up another Tailwind, and we go into a Icicle Crash. Okay, that's very good, yeah. So now we're still faster because we've doubled the speed. Neutralizing Gas turns off the Sword of Ruin, but I don't know that you really need that at this point. You've doubled your attack. You've either doubled your speed or like 3 times your speed. You're definitely faster, even though they've got Tailwind set up. That's how you call it Protect, yeah. That was very greedy, but it paid off huge here. And I think it might just get them the win. Because I don't really see a way from here that you clinch it out. Go for the Acrobatics. Chi wasn't holding a Sash, but what can you do? Huge Gunk Shot into the Chien-Pao. I bet they're wishing they had gone in on the Roaring Moon, though. And now it's just Wheezing versus the world. I don't think they can do anything here. Next hit should knock them out. Wheezing's very physically defensive, but not into both of these guys. I think they're fine. Chien-Pao's gonna tick to poison in another turn after this, but Wheezing doesn't really have a mechanism by which to claw this one back. Roaring Moon can knock it out, I'm pretty sure, with any move. Just has to think about it. Goes for the double Protect. Acrobatics seals the deal. And that was a really, really powerful called Protect on the part of our Roaring Moon player here. Gets the second Dragon Dance off, is able to outspeed Tailwind and just does more damage than anything. Very nice. I think that's the last match that's currently ongoing for this round. We're really tearing through the rounds, which is plenty fine by me. Yeah, very well played. That was a really good call, Protect. I agree. Soon we will have our... What is that going to be? 5th round of 7, I think? And then we've got Top Cut. So we're cruising right along. It's been a little over an hour, right? An hour 15, and we're like over halfway done. Top Cut might be a different beast. I don't even know if I'll be able to watch Top Cut, because I think at that point, it's going to be a lot of players who don't let people watch them. But we'll see. As you get higher up on the ladder, you find people who turn off spectators on Showdown. How's our current Oh, this hasn't updated again. Well, there's nobody who's won 100% of the time anymore, so that's cool. So somebody beat the Dragalge team last round. But we're doing quite well. Honchkrow, somehow, against all odds, is 3-1. I don't know how you do it. This Pokemon is not good. But maybe there's something I just don't see. Or maybe this unique meta makes it very... Okay, so we've got Moxie on it, which is... you get a +1 attack every time you secure a knockout. It's got Room Service, which is a -1 stage of speed when Trick Room is in effect, and it's consumed. Acrobatics. So you consume your item, then you have Stab Acrobatics, which is pretty cool. Haze, which is bad because you just have 2 items, or 2 things that change your stats. But I guess you could haze off your own Room Service out of Trick Room, which is kind of cool. Spiritomb, meanwhile, is the Trick Room setter. They've got safety goggles, so they can't be put to sleep. They can't be faked out because they're a ghost type, so only Taunt would really stand in their way. And they got that good Nightshade Helping Hand business. Supreme Overlord King Gambit, so they get stronger the more guys on their team have been knocked out. We got Crocodile, who I guess you could run Earthquake next to Honchkrow. Is kind of cool. And good old Eruption, Choice Specs on Typhlosion, doing its best job as a Torkoal XP. So that's cool. I want to watch this. This would also be fun to watch, I think. Honchkrow doing it somehow. Room Service is very spicy. I've never seen Room Service be used as an item pretty much at all, so it's cool to see it get used in some capacity here. We have new pairings yet? We do. All right, who's the team with the Honchkrow? Can I watch them? Big E. Let's see. I want to see this real bad. Please let me spectate you. No! Please, I want to watch. I want to see the Honchkrow. Oh, we're good. We can watch. Alright, so they've got a sand team on the left side here. We already went over what the Honchkrow team is all about. They're going to maybe try and set Trick Room. We've got Sableye. I don't know what this team has off the top of my head. I'm not really seeing what the Tyranitar brings to the table other than just a way to turn off other weathers. Yeah, so with Room Service, I was actually talking about way back when Ursh finally came into the meta. I was like, could you run Room Service Urshifu so that you have a way to punch through Protect? Because the primary way people stall out Trick Room is just having Protect every other turn, right? So you only have the 5 turns of Trick Room, so you just Protect every other turn, and then your opponent basically can't punch through you, and then they're slower than you. But if you had Urshifu, who is magically very slow, you could just say, I don't care that you're protecting. But I never brought it to fruition, of course. Then when you're out of Trick Room, it's very bad. And it's a sand team without Townstone. Yeah, I don't know. My only thought here is that it's just as a means to turn off other more useful weathers. So like if the opponent wants to have Sunny Day to activate Photosynthesis, or Rain for Swift Swim, you have a way to disable that. Plus, just Tyranitar is quite a good special wall. With Assault Vest in Sand, as long as you preserve your Rock type, you can get up to like 300 special defense, which is very, very high. You can eat a Moonblast without having to Terra, even though it's super effective, for example. Like, you can just have one, and you'll be fine. Alright, so we've led with the Sand. So real quick, let me see what they got. Knock off, Rock Slide, Terra Blast into Terra Psychic. And we got Sableye here with the dual screens, Will-O-Wisp, and Taunt. Meanwhile, Spiritomb is definitely going for a Trick Room here, I would assume. So let's see if that pays out, because we just saw the Room Service Trick Room combo here. So let's see how this pans out. Honchkrow, for its part, is probably going to just protect, while Spiritomb sets up Trick Room. Without any fairy move, they're just fine. Unless this flinches, but I doubt it will. Well, that's unfortunate. They really, really needed to not flinch right there. So now Trick Room isn't up, and we've got a Honchkrow running around with no way to protect. I don't know what you do here. I think you have to switch out. Safety Goggle's gone. Trick Room is up. But now what? Maybe you go for a Rage Powder on Amoonguss. And, like, Spiritomb just doesn't do damage, though. Its only attacking move here is a fixed damaged Nightshade. So maybe you go for a Will-O-Wisp into Tyranitar is maybe your best bet. You do have fast Spore, that's true. So maybe you don't want a Will-O-Wisp because, well, now you don't have Spore. Never mind. We have offensive Amoonguss. And Spiritomb, unfortunately, did not tick down to Sand. I bet it wishes it did. It can do very, very little here. Though, I guess the fixed damage is nice through screens. Yeah, you would have clicked Spore, right? They somehow knew this was going to happen to them. Tyranitar comes back in, goes for another Pollen Puff. We eat those even though it's super effective. Oh, it's a weakness policy. That's scary, but we immediately burn, so that is effectively neutralized. Spiritomb is asleep, which is kind of a confounding move because it's going to die anyway. So we've got 2 burns out, which is quite nice. Kingambit can come in now with the remaining 2 turns of Trick Room. 1 fallen ally gives them a 20% boost, or is it a 10% boost, I think, on Supreme Overlord for all of their moves, so that's quite good. I think, no Steel move is an interesting choice. Swords Dance, X-Scissor, Sucker Punch, Protect. That's interesting. No Steel move. No Fighting move either. Like, you need like a low kick or something. So I don't know. With the Amoonguss unable to Rage Powder, I think you just have to go for an X-Scissor into like Tyranitar. But behind a Reflect, that's not going to do a whole lot. He's already... Huh? Why did we do this? I'm confused. He was full HP, unless that was a misclick. Yeah, Kingambit making the meta call that those 4R box don't appear, right? Alright, we activate our room service just in time for Trick Room to end. Kingambit wakes up immediately, which is nice. Oh, maybe, yeah, he forgot the speed order. We immediately die on Honchkrow. Do we get another Fallen boost? We should, right? I'm surprised. Does this only tick in when you switch in? I've never actually seen this in, like, live action before. I'm so much more used to Defiant on Kingambit. Well, fortunately, we're not taunted anymore, but we still have a lot of turns of screens to burn through. Though at this point, maybe a X-Scissor will do it. We could just Rage Powder. Rage Powder, Rage Powder. Terra Blast Psychic annihilates the mushroom for super effective damage. Not quite so lucky with the Kingambit. And I think that's all she wrote. The turn 1 flinch really made the wheels fall off the wagon for this one, I feel. Not being able to get Trick Room up with your Honchkrow just made this completely suboptimal play. That's really rough. I assume we'll just be Spored here. Yeah. Does Tyranitar burn down? No, he's got one more turn. Ugh. No more Reflect, but they still have their whole team. They've got one more guy we haven't even seen. It could be any of their very 3 potent attackers. And it's Annihilate. Not really who you want to see when you're a Steel Dark type. So I think we still have Terra, right? Nobody Terra'd on their team. So I think we could Terra Fairy here and maybe make it. Yeah. We have to do it. We strongly resist that. We're still asleep. They're trying to Spore us so bad. Mushroom won't last forever, though it could switch out and regenerate. We go for the bulk up. We're still asleep. Ah, that's rough. I think Annihilate is just going to be able to clock us. We're never going to be strong enough to one-shot it, and anytime we don't one-shot it, we're just giving it Rage Fist stacks. Yeah. And now we ourselves are burned. So I think it's kind of Jover. Yeah, I think that's it. A big crit would be cool, I agree. But, yeah, it needs to be a crit. And there we go. That would have been a meaty crit for sure. Unfortunate. Alright, anybody else still playing? Trying to find people we haven't already watched. But I'm not coming up with too many. Looks like folks are dropping pretty quick. We've got 3 matches left in the round. We'll be on to round 6. We've got 1 more round to Swiss. You never know. What do you never know in VGC? Sorry, I totally missed the context of this comment. Well, with the crit, you gotta play to your outs, I guess, is what you're saying, right? Yeah. You gotta try. You gotta play to every possible out. Alright, that's the last match just completed right now. So we should have another round in 2 minutes from now. Not bad, not bad. Definitely won my fair share by not quitting early. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There was a match at the Toronto Regionals in the Top Cut, I think it was, that looked like it was completely over, but they just weren't able to clinch it out. It was like some crazy Shun Pao into... what was he fighting? It was like, we just needed him to click Sucker Punch, but like was not allowed to do so. I don't remember. I reacted to it on stream, and I was just flabbergasted. But I don't remember what it was at this point. I forgot. point is, it looked like it was unwinnable, and then I think they turned around and won. New pairings in 2 minutes. Yeah, it just happens sometimes. It's the game we play. Like, what can you do? Not a whole lot that can be done about it. Alright, new pairings are up. Desperately trying to see if anybody will let me watch. Anyone, please. Looking like more and more people are just not allowing spectators, perhaps. Either that or there's some like kind of synchronization error. Camera shy, yeah. I mean, I don't blame them, it's fine. You're not required to be able to be spectated, but it was a thing we decided to try. Since this is a Showdown tournament, and there is, you know, a way to spectate on Showdown where there isn't on cartridge, amazingly. Anything, please. Huh, I don't know. Maybe that's just the end of the run here. Seems like I'm not able to find anybody who's currently playing. Huh. That's annoying. Yeah, I'm like trying every matchup I see here. Most people, I guess, just have spectator off. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh, looks like that one has already ended. But let's see if we can play-by-play this. Oh, snap, you got 2 shinies on Dynamax Adventures. Which 2 guys? Who all you get? And who were you looking for? Okay, so here we got our boy Okidogi. Celio and Maractus. Oh. I like Maractus. They got Storm Drain, right? They're a cool water absorber. Right, so, let's see. Ursh on both sides. Obviously, it's the dark. No Surging Strikes. Okidogi with that good gunk shot. Wicked Blow crit into Okidogi. Does not do a lot. Similarly, Drain Punch does not do a lot into the Amoonguss. We detect. Psychic Fangs is an interesting tech to deal with poison types. That's quite good. Gets rid of the mushroom immediately. Turn to fire type. Goes for the trick. We gain choice specs on the dog. And we immediately get rid of it and we poison. Hold up. You see that? You're not going to see this too often. A Goldengo who has been poisoned because one, it terrored fire, so it's no longer steel type, and 2, it got poisoned by an on-hit effect instead of a status move. Not a common sight. But the Toxic Chain ability on Okidogi here, proccing probably in a big way here, gets rid of the Assault Vest that he was just, like, mercilessly robbed of. And now it's looking quite bad for the Goldengo. Cerulege can come in, deal some good Fire-type move, or be immune to Fire-type attacks. Though it is at the mercy of the Urshier, I think, with the Dark-type attack as soon as this thing wakes up. A Sucker Punch or a Wicked Blow would be quite devastating. Yeah, I mean, the Psychic Fangs makes perfect sense in a format where Poison's one of the 4 allowed types, right? Bitter Blade coming in hot. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, Toxic's actually going to do it. Badly poisoned. Toxic coming in very clutch. Yeah, gets rid of Goldengo in a way you wouldn't normally expect. Alright, we got one more Rage Powder in us. I would have to imagine Ursh will wake up this turn. It's been quite a while. And it's just a matter of who goes first here. Because one more Bitter Blade should do it, right? We Terra Fairy, we're good. They go for a Detect. Rage Powder. Degleam, we eat that. Cerulege, I think... Oh, unfortunate. But they can go for Ursh next turn, and the Sucker Punch won't even hurt that bad. Yeah, here I would go for, I guess now that you know that they can't protect, and you know you can eat a Degleam pretty comfortably, I think you just go for the Bitter Blade into Ursh? Yeah. And you can go for one more Rage Powder, or you can even go for a Spore, though I think Amoonguss is cooked, no matter how you slice it. Degleam is going to come out, or... yeah. But that's fine. Wicked Blow, you resist. Bitter Blade, you heal up quite nicely. Though that not knocking out is huge, I gotta say. Maybe here you can go for a Sucker Punch into the weak Ursh, and Bitter Blade into the Fluttermane. That might be your only play. Yeah, because otherwise, you know, Degleam's going to kill... Actually, I think, yeah, it has to be Sucker Punch, because Degleam will one-shot Ursh. Because he's Dark End fighting, so he's double weak to that. Can't Terra. They go for Protect. Shadow Sneak, actually, that's true. They do have their own mechanism for priority, and they only need to do a little bit of damage, and you punch through the Protect, and you get it. There you go. Easy match. Going for the Fluttermane actually, I guess, made a lot more sense, because even if they protected, you're totally covered for it by Urshifu being Urshifu. Not bad. Anyway, with the increasing difficulty I'm having finding people who are willing to be spectated, I might just call it there. It's a neat format. I'm glad I got to watch some of these matches. I don't expect that I'll be able to watch much in Top Cut, so instead of dawdling around, it's getting late. I mean, this is way later than I usually stream, right? So it's getting kind of late. I might as well just call it while I can. This has been fun. I love gimmick formats like this. I'll see if next time I can work towards getting them a little bit more spectator friendly. If we have another one on Showdown like this, I'd love to do it. Yeah, I'll go toss y'all off to somebody else in a couple minutes. As for what's up for me coming up down the pipe, yeah, no problem. I wish I could have shown more of these, right? But unfortunately, it's kind of pick and choose, and people are totally within their right to disable having spectators in the Showdown client. That's totally fine. So it is what it is. So as for what's up for me, ordinarily, with tomorrow being November 1st, the Day of the Dead, I would be streaming another year in our ongoing Grim Fandango series. Last time I streamed it was November 1st last year, and I did year 2 of a 4-year Journey of the Soul. However, I have family visiting this week, and I don't really know what my itinerary is going to be, so I'm at their mercy, and I don't want to plan for anything only to have to cancel it, so the 4-year Journey of the Soul will resume next week on Sunday. Follow me on the co-host on the Twitter, etc. to know when that's going to happen, but we'll be doing yet another year 3 of 4, in Grim Fandango, the classic point-and-click adventure game for skeletons. I think that'll probably be in place of Endless Ocean next week, and we'll be back to ribbon hunting as well. That's my guess. But we'll see. I don't really know yet. Nothing's really planned. Yeah, so now all that remains is for me to go find somebody to raid, and I'll wish you all a good night. Thank you all for stopping by and watching some of these goofy gimmick matches. Who's around? Who's even around? Oh, this is an easy one. I'm going to send you guys to raid this guy. So Ty was on Sunday when we were watching the Toronto finals. He's another Pokemon professor. He's currently playing in this tournament, so you'll be able to watch more of the tournament by virtue of watching his perspective for at least one more round, I guess. I don't think he's going to make Top Cut, but then I don't know what he's up to after that. He's a Pokemon professor as well, like IRL, just like I am. He's certified. He leans into the gimmick way more on stream, so go be nice to him. And I'll catch you when I catch you guys. Bonus Sarah, and good night.